Hockey has produced plenty of famous brothers. The Sutters, the Hulls, the Stalls, the Gretzkys. Hey, man, Brent played 13 games for the Lightning in the 90s, all right? You make it to the show, you get respect. But now there could be another family dynasty in the making, and I'm not talking about the Shens, I'm talking about the Subbans. We start with PK, plays defense for Le Glorieux, the Habs. Basically, he's living my dream. It's fine, I'll get over it eventually. Now, for PK, the dream began, as it does with many NHLers, while watching Hockey Night in Canada. He told his pops he wanted to be just like the guys on TV, and when PK was 6, his dad, who emigrated from Jamaica in the 70s, would take him for midnight skates after a long day at work. So, as a rookie, PK made a name for himself in a heated playoff battle.
Subban drops it back, score!
And quickly became a favorite of Habs fans. And he does have his critics too. Some find him a bit too flamboyant on ice at times.
It's good to be cocky, I like it. But you gotta show a little respect.
Now, soon, it's expected that PK will be joined in the bigs by his brother Malcolm, currently the top-ranked goalie prospect in North America, and there's a younger brother too, Jordan, already getting attention from big league scouts at the tender age of 17. Not surprisingly, the Subbans come from a pretty exceptional family. Their pops, Carl, is a middle school principal working in a complicated neighborhood in Toronto called Jane and Finch. It's a neighborhood with a rough reputation and a lot of kids that have been described as at risk. Following that kind of example, PK and his brothers have become role models themselves, knowing fully what it takes to succeed on the ice and off. Please welcome PK Subban. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
How's it going?
Great, man. Yeah. Just living it up in Leaf Nation right now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little different than Habs Nation, but I'm happy to be here, man.
Well, so, I mean, you are obviously the high-profile Hab. Yeah. I've heard that you grew up a Habs fan, but do you just have to say that because you play for them, or did you grow up a Leaf fan?
No, my dad was a huge Habs fan growing up. You know, I feel like I've said it a million times, but he grew up in Sudbury, Ontario, in a French community, and his favorite player was Ken Dryden. And, you know, when you're a young boy growing up, you want to be just like your dad, and he started liking the Habs, so did I. And my favorite player, I remember once I first started liking him, was Vincent Domfus. He was the captain. I played for the North York Canadians, so I wanted to be just like him, and that's where it all started.
You didn't, I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood around the corner from you, and so your neighborhood isn't known for churning out hockey players, and there's going to be 3 potentially in the NHL with you and your other brothers, and even a cousin would be another one, right? I think there's like 28 players in the NHL. They're either black or biracial, and you might be 4 of them, Subbans. Like, it's incredible, you know, what your family has been able to do in the neighborhood. So what did growing up in the neighborhood you did, what kind of impact did it have on you?
First of all, I just want to be, I'm quite amazed that you know this much information on me and my family and stuff. It's pretty crazy, man, because you're naming some stuff that I didn't even know. You know what I mean? So, but you know what? Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Like, to have 3 brothers, you know, that have the potential to play in the NHL, and you know what? To be honest with you, there's no secret. It's not like my parents are putting stuff in our food or, you know, nothing like that. It's just, you know what? We have a set of morals and values that have been instilled in us since we were little kids. And I guess...
It's a tough neighborhood. So did your dad and mom step in and say, listen, you can't...
You know what? I can tell you this right now. Growing up in Rexdale, I grew up in a pretty good part of Rexdale, but there's a lot of distractions. And you know what? I think that's an excuse that a lot of people use of where you grew up or who your friends are or where you live. It's an excuse. I mean, at the end of the day, I knew what I wanted to do. My brothers knew what they wanted to do, and that's why we're being successful. And our parents helped us get there. And it's just basically hard work, man. Like, just tons of hard work and, you know, just keeping your head on the straight and narrow and not looking east or west, just looking north and just go as hard as you can.
Right. When your dad is, you know, higher up at a school, either principal or vice principal, he's a tough guy, right?
Big Carl's a pretty tough guy. He's a big man. Yeah. I mean, sometimes maybe I think I can take him, but he usually knocks that right out of me right away. But you know what? My dad's been in education now for 30 years. He just received an award for excellence in education. You know what? He's at Brookview Middle School. It's a tough school, a challenging school. But you know what? What he's done with that school, you can imagine having 5 kids and being at one of the toughest schools in the District of Toronto. That's not an easy life to live, you know, and I'm old enough now to realize that, but you know what, at the same token, I'm like, geez, he's doing a good job, and he's working really hard, and the guy just has a passion. He has a passion to help people, You know what I mean? I just say, Dad, sometimes take it easy. You know, you don't have to be running around every 5 seconds. He's sponsoring a kid. He's taking a kid skating. I'm like, you know, Dad, you still got to take me to the gym. You know, I know I'm 22, but geez, I want to get a ride every now and then. Right. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's constantly working hard, and he's worked so hard with us, and not just the boys, but my older sister. My older sister, Nastasia, is very successful. She's a teacher now. Both of them are, Natasha, and we're just a family based on hard work, but we're so tight, and I think that's the base of our success.
You know, you talk about getting a driver. You have a driver's license? You can't drive yourself?
No, I got a driver's license, but I mean, geez, when you're doing 2-a-days sometimes, you know, it'd be nice. Dad, you know, can I get a ride? He's like, I got to go to school, you know, get on the bus or something, grab a bus.
Can you imagine PK Subban gets on the bus? That would be...
Hey, I used to, man. Yeah. There's no shame in that. I tell Malcolm and Jordan to jump on the bus every now and then. There's no shame in that. You know, I went many summers of coming downtown Toronto. I train downtown now, but I didn't always have a license, so I would take the bus downtown 3-4 times a day just to work out. So there's no shame in that.
Speaking of Malcolm and speaking about transportation, we got a question for you from Malcolm, your brother.
Hey, PK, George. Sorry I couldn't be there today, but... yeah, if you guys know PK, you know that he's not the best driver around. So I was just wondering, I was thinking about it the other day. How did you pass your driving school so easily with such flying colors, PK? Thanks, guys.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to tell you, hang on a second, hang on.
I know the answer to this question.
Before I answer this question, that's just not a smart move on Malcolm's part, because he just went for his driver's license, right?
Right.
And, you know, Malcolm, I think he's making, what, $50 in the OHL a week or something like that?
He's going to want you to buy him a car.
Oh, no. He's going to want to use my car. He's going to want to use it. Now, he's going to have to do a couple chores around the house, maybe clean my room a couple times, you know, maybe brush off a couple of the gold medals on the wall before he gets a chance to take a ride in the car. Yeah, you like that one.
So clearly he's raised a touchy subject with how did you get your driver's license?
Yeah, you know what? I've gotten better at driving. I think, to be completely honest with you, the driving school teacher was a Habs fan, so I signed a picture for him. Maybe that's how I got it. I'll be honest.
That's all. You signed a picture and you passed your driver's license. I mean, there's a part of you, like, so you're kind of blazing a trail for your brothers, right? You make the NHL, you get a lot of attention. You know, these two guys are coming up, and they're good, too, right? Malcolm is testing really well at the combines. People say, you've even said that Jordan, your younger brother, might even be better, right, or of the bunch, the three of you. And what's it like for you knowing that you've got these guys coming up behind you?
It's amazing, man, because at one point, you know, there was never pressure on me from my parents or from anyone, but, you know, I've always wanted to be the best hockey player that I can be, and I still want to be one of the best players that's ever played the game. And it's just, I'm in a situation now where I'm not only thinking about myself, I'm thinking about my brothers. You know, everything I do, whether it's training, whether I'm getting on the ice to work on my game, whether it's my diet, I'm like, how can I give this to my brothers so that they can be successful too? And, you know, I can't say enough about them. They've worked so hard because, you know, having 5 kids, you know, I have to be honest with you, I was probably the most spoiled in terms of how much time my parents spent with me. You know, they didn't spend the same amount of time as they did with Malcolm or Jordan, you know, driving me to hockey and all that stuff. So sometimes they suffered. So I guess that's why I feel a responsibility to help them as much as I can.
Even if Malcolm's gets drafted by the Bruins or the Lightning? Or the Leafs?
Well, you know what? I've gotten a couple questions about that, and we've drawn up a couple scenarios of what would happen on the ice. You know, let's say in a shootout, or I'll be honest with you, if there's a shootout, I gotta say I'm a little nervous coming in on Malcolm. Malcolm's pretty good in the shootout. But Game 7, if I'm at the top of the circle and Markey, you know, touches over a little one-touch pass to me and I'm shooting it, it's going through his glove, through the net, and probably through the first pane of glass, hitting the fan. You know what I mean? So he's good. But even if he is on the Bruins, I'll still look out for him, for sure.
Right. You know, the other one, of course, is Jordan, and he's going to join us after the commercial break. So PK Subban and his younger brother Jordan right after this.
JC, Jordan Carmichael. I don't know your name yet because we're not sure, but I think it's going to be Jordan Carmichael. I like it. JC. This is PK. The older brother in his backyard is playing hockey. This is on the day you were born.
Backyard of PK Subban. That's a beautiful piece of tape. That's your dad, right, talking?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We spent a lot of days on the backyard rink, and you could even see my sister floating around in the background there. But
And that's the day Jordan was born.
that was the day Jordan was born. Yeah, it was.
Let's bring him out. Everybody, Jordan Subban. Nice to see you, man. How are you? Welcome, man. I mean, that's pretty amazing, right? They still went on the ice the day you were born.
Yeah, that was cool. That's when Toronto used to get a lot of snow. We'd have the backyard rinks, but we haven't been able to do it in a couple of years. So
I mean, what do you make of his success right now? What's happening with him and Malcolm?
I mean, it's amazing. Especially, I don't really remember PK's draft year too much. I remember that I went, but what he's accomplished, it's been so cool, and just I've benefited from him in so many ways. On Twitter, I get a lot of followers and stuff like that, and a lot of interviews and a lot of attention. And with Malcolm, it's so recent. And, no offense to PK, but I'm a lot closer to Malcolm. We're obviously closer in age, and I lived with him in Belleville this year. So it's kind of like what he's going through. It's kind of like it's part of me too. So
right.
it's pretty cool.
Quieting your head is an important part of this game, right? Is it difficult to do that when you get on the ice?
When I get on the ice, no. I just play and have fun and just be myself. And similar to PK, actually, I like to celebrate and things like that, and just release all my emotions. So
how do you feel when you see guys like Don Cherry going on TV, going after some of that stuff? You know he's not just talking about a colleague, but he's talking about your family too.
I mean, I try not to take it to heart. I mean, I really idolized Don Cherry growing up, watching all of his videos and DVDs, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So people are gonna say what they have to say, but at the end of the day, you just have to do what you love and have fun. So,
how do you feel when you get it?
I like it. I mean, the fact that I get a little time on Don Cherry's Coach's Corner, I mean, that's great. That's what you want, right? Saturday night, so.
But do you ever see it spilling out into the league? Because then you hear that other players start to say stuff, and then it's beyond that. Then they're trying to play head games. Yeah,
I mean, I think that at the end of the day, like I said, hockey's hockey, and the person you are is the person you should be, and there's a time and a place for everything. And Bobby Orr was one of my favorite players growing up, and he never used to celebrate. I wish I could be that calm after I score a goal. I mean, if you ever see tape of that guy, he just rides his stick back. Me, when I score, I want to throw my gloves in the stands, like, you know what I mean, and call it quits. I mean, it's just the emotion coming out.
And I know that this is different for you guys because it's your life, but there is something to be said about the fact that, I mean, there aren't that many black hockey players in the National Hockey League. There aren't. And there's still racism going out there, and the impact that it has when you see a person of color who takes on this position. I mean, how does that feel?
I've been playing on hockey since I was, 2.5, 3 years old. I've been playing hockey. And there's been a number of those incidents, and they're just stupid people, really, to be honest with you. Hockey's filled with great people, and it's a great sport, and I encourage a lot of people to play it. Because of the relationships that you make in hockey, and those are the things that I'd rather talk about than all those other things, because they're just ignorant people.
The soccer player today just came up with Tally, said that, if someone throws a banana on the field and he's out there, he's going to go to jail for murder because he's going to kill him. Like, that's how deeply offended he will be.
Do you know the way I approach it? I'd probably just pick it up and eat it. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, you know what I mean? I just pick it up and eat it. Man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, for me, like, to be honest with you, when people do that, like, I'm at the point now where I have black friends, I have white friends, I have clear friends, I have purple friends, I have yellow friends. Like, nobody cares.
You might want to get your purple friends to see a doctor.
Yeah.
You talk about role models. I want to close on this one. Let's play some footage here. This is something that I know you're connected to, and I suppose one of you guys will be as well. This is you in Haiti, the Jour of the Rock, right? Yeah. So tell me what that experience was like for you.
And it's life-changing. You know what? It's kind of emotional watching it now because it was just a great experience for me. I didn't plan on going out there. It was just something that kind of happened, and you're always searching. I think that for fulfillment in life, you're always searching for that fulfillment. What fulfills you? And hockey can't be it, because hockey's going to end at some point, so what are you going to do the rest of your life? And the biggest thing for me is I love helping people. I love being involved in initiatives. And, some people say, PK, you're 22, you're 23, focus on your career and then focus on helping. But I feel like I have that responsibility to do now. So, I mean, that was just the start of it, and it was a great experience for me. Changed my life.
Really?
Yeah.
So great to see you guys.
Thanks, George.
PK Subban.
Thank you.
Jordan and PK Subban. We'll be right back.